Hey guys, this is Max. I'm here with an attempt at a live stream. I scheduled it for 12:15 because I wasn't sure if I'm going to be able to have everything set up properly before then, but I won't start running the cup until then. So I'm just going to kind of hold off and see if this is working right before I start actually running the stream. So we got a few minutes here where it's just going to kind of sit idle. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. I'm still kind of waiting here. Let's see. Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to start in a few minutes, as I was saying earlier. What's up, Jose? I Let me know if you can't hear me for some reason. The voice should be coming through. Yeah, it's been a year since I tried live streaming, so I'm a little rusty here. So bear with me. Let's hope everything works as intended. Hey, hello from Philly. I'm right outside of Philly myself, actually. Um, so welcome to the live stream. All right, so the point of this one is going to be doing the Kia Prestige Cup. Um, the Kia Prestige Cup's not going to be easy. I already know the final times run anywhere between 9.1 to 9.3. So that's kind of where we need to be. What I've already done is, if you saw one of my other videos, last season when we had the cups where we could lock in different cars to win that Rocket Bunny RX-7, I locked in the Kia. So I was able to get a lot of parts ahead of time. So I'm kind of close to maxed at this point with the car, although it still cost me close to 9,000 bronze keys to get to this point. And I'm right now missing one fusion. That's always the case with these things. You always end up missing one fusion somehow. And that's probably going to require one of the supply cups that gives epic fusions for me to get lucky with that one last fusion. So let's talk about the supply cup stuff. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm not calling you guys out by name just so I don't end up accidentally mispronouncing it anyway. But do speak up if something's going wrong with the stream because I'm not technically that proficient with this stuff. All right. So this is why Mills does streams all the time and I don't, because for me it's a struggle. In any case, let's talk about this live because I feel that making a video is harder to discuss some of the things I wanted to talk about than if I just did it as I'm looking at the PC Cup. I scheduled this thing for 12:15. We're about 3 minutes away, so I don't want to start running the cup until then to give people a chance to check in. But in any case, what we have here is a close to fully maxed Kia. So it allows me to kind of play with different settings. One of the things that I've already found out, and this is kind of important, and I always discuss this, is that certain stage sixes have much better effects than others, right? In this case, the best two for this car seems to be nitrous and transmission. Now, I'll admit that I haven't really tested the rest of them that hard, but I have a feeling that most of the rest of these will come close, but wouldn't be as good as those two. Just how good is trans? Let's take a look. With full fusions, and obviously full fusions makes a huge difference, but with full fusions, the transmission alone can give you a dyno of 9.207. Now, I have it tuned differently than usual. I have a 5.0 final drive rather than tuning to a lower final drive, mainly because I'm watching the Evo. This is one of the key differences between a PC cup and a supply cup, right? A supply cup, you can trick the tune because it's dyno based. So you can use whatever it is that lets you beat dyno and you have a very easy supply cup. You cannot trick anything in PC cup because all the challenges are set times. So if you just tune to a crappy dyno, that means you're just not going to make it through that challenge. The challenge doesn't change based on your dyno like supply cup. It sticks to what the requirements are. So it's an upgrade dependent event where you have to have enough upgrades or you're just not going to make it. That's the bottom line with PC cups. So this is why I save my bronze keys and I kind of wait for the PC cup to kick in, and then that's when I spend them on crates specific to the PC card just to make sure I have enough upgrades to make it through. Now, so talking about this tune, this particular transmission only S6 with almost full fusions does very well. In fact, it can run, am I okay here? Yeah, I'm good. All right. So it can run essentially a 9.1 time, 9.18 or so if I drive it right. You got to launch it perfect. That's one of the requirements. And I didn't. So nitrous fourth, fifth, sixth, and I just let it run out in seventh because you no longer have nitrous and you're not going to do any better. So that will give you the effect of 9.238. I actually ran a 9.182 when I did everything perfectly. So that car can definitely get to the end. The question is whether it'll get to the end and beat the final opponent in one shot, or it's going to take me 4 or 5 shots to do it. Hard to say. I really don't know, but we'll find out. So it's now 12:15. So I'm going to go ahead and start running this car, and then we'll take a look at the sprint and also the speed trap challenges. Fortunately for us, for the most part, this car is pretty easy. Hey, Alex, welcome to the stream. It's pretty easy to set up for both sprints and speed traps. But if you're missing fusions, and most of you are, it's much more difficult and the tune's completely different. So we'll have to look at it when we get there. So I already did one race just to kind of get started with stage 5 only, and I kind of got a feel for how the car drives. But with this trans, I should be able to just basically run right through. So I'm going to run one with the trans first, and then we're going to go back. We're going to go to stage 5 only, and we'll start off there with the different tune and see how far it gets us. Probably to about race 27, I would say, wouldn't be much of a problem. And then it's going to probably get me stuck at that point. Since I'm talking here, I'm kind of shifting pretty poorly. This is going to be a 9.3 run. And I didn't launch perfectly either. Car is rather sensitive to the launch. You want to get it on a perfect launch. And if you get a perfect launch, you're going to run a little better. You get slightly off perfect, you're going to run worse. This tune, because I'm running 5.0 final drive, I'm using nitrous in fourth. But if you're doing less upgrades or you have less fusions, the max Evo tune may be at fourth gear, which will be a different way to drive you with nitrous in third, right? So it depends on what you have set up. Watch the difference when I take that trans out. This is a big drop in time. Once you remove the trans and you go back and look at the tune, it's going to change quite a bit. It says the tune's still good, right? It's really saying this is still good. You could keep it here, which gives us a dyno of 9.572. So this is still able to be left like this. You can also try a tune where you're using fourth gear with less grip. And if you notice, this doesn't really get that far off on the numbers. It's a little bit slower, okay? But you can actually tune to 9.5 something still. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did it before. Yep, right here. See how it goes up again a little bit? And it's close. So it's a 9.645 versus a 9.572. It can still run pretty well. And if you tweak this a little bit, you may be able to squeeze a few more points out. But a lot of people are either running this setup, okay, or a variation somewhere in one of these gears. So some people might be running in this gear. Some have set up to this gear. That's the interesting thing about this car, is that it does have almost max evo in different gears. Here we have 9.63 again in this gear, but notice 5.0, if you put the grip down, it actually gets even higher. So again, play with the tune. It's never one thing. So you don't want to just rely on one tune and go, okay, that's the best one. Play around with it and you'll find out what's working best for you. Obviously, if you're running this gear, you're going to use nitrous in fourth. If you're running something like this, you're going to use nitrous in third. That's the main difference between the two. And it doesn't mean either one's going to run poorly. They should still do fine. I'm going to try it with this one just to see what we end up actually running. So you're losing about 4/10 off of that trans. Once you take the trans off, you went from a 9.2 dyno right to a 9.57, almost 4/10 difference. So that stage 6 obviously could make or break the last few races. And that's true of almost every car in the game. Some stage 6 is going to give you some massive increase and the rest is just garbage. So every little bit helps, of course. Now, again, I'm going to try to launch better. Here we go. That was better. Oh, no, I shifted too early. How nice. Okay, so this way, you're using nitrous in third. You're going to top out in fourth, just like that. It's an easier car to drive this way, obviously. Shifts are slow, things are good, and it beats dyno. Notice it ran a 9.476. This is the other point that people probably noticed when I messed around with the supply cup, but that one, I was doing it without fusions. Once you add fusions, you run this fourth gear tune, you'll beat dyno. If you run the high gear tune, the 5.0 tune, it's harder to beat dyno. So it is theoretically faster on the dyno, but it's actually harder to beat the dyno. So in a way, it's almost better to run this fourth gear with the slower dyno and beat it rather than trying it this way, which gives you a much better dyno, but may not actually be easier to beat it. So we're going to go back and do that now. So the highest and best Evo tune isn't always the highest and best runs, right? We know that. Oh, wait. Okay, this is fine. I got a first speed trap. I don't need to adjust for this, but we'll explain a little difference on the speed trap real quick. Since we're here, and this is probably worth talking about real fast. This car actually is very good on the speed trap, mainly because all you have to do is this, and look at that speed trap difference. Went from this to that, just like that. Okay, just lowering the grip. 53 actually is fine. So you can get 173 from 154 just by lowering the grip without changing this 5.0. Now, if I had it down here, remember this one, same deal. A little bit slower, but ultimately still does it. Now, if you look at these two differences, though, what happens is if you really are looking for every last mile per hour out of this car, you're probably better off putting this to where the top speed is going to top out than doing it this way. It just gives you a little extra edge is all it is. It's not going to give you 10 miles per hour out of it, but a few miles per hour can make or break you when you're looking for a speed trap and you're struggling already, very close to. Hey, Dom, welcome to the live stream. So little bit counts. Every little bit counts, and that's what we're looking at here. So I'm going to use this tune. I'm going to go and do that speed trap, which I think is only 113, so it's kind of a joke at this point, but it goes up to over 160 miles per hour as you go further down the cup. Anybody have any problems with my voice coming over? Are you hearing me clearly? Is there any lag on the stream? If there are, please let me know. This way we can hopefully do some troubleshooting, which I'm not good at, but we'll see what happens. Okay, 119 mile per hour is going to be very, very easy. But if you really want to get the absolute most out of the car's mile per hour, the usual technique is use nitrous later and get through the first gears earlier so you can push it. So I hit almost 180 there, and if I used it even slightly later than that, I probably would have topped 180 mile per hour using this setup. So the car also beats its theoretical top speed, again, like many other cars, just by doing the nitrous later and skipping the first few gears so that you're giving yourself enough of the track, usually at least from halfway, to use that nitrous and push through. So yeah, Congratulations, I'm working on it myself. But of course, I'm working on it with the easiest car out of my accounts rather than the hardest one, which is basically not really built because I want to actually get through in one live stream instead of having to do 3 live streams to finish it. But so that was the speed trap. And as you can see, at stage 5 only, we're able to hit 180 mile per hour with full fusions. But when I tried it with a car that only had about 15, 20 fusions, it was a struggle to even hit 161 miles per hour. So your fusions are going to also cause a huge difference in where your top speed is going to end up at. So understand that part as well. It is very fusion dependent. And that is the one thing new players always forget or don't understand is how important fusions are. Yes, they only add maybe 5, 6 evos per fusion, but the cumulative effect is huge. So you want those fusions, and unfortunately for this car, it means pulling more crates. Oh wait, let me see. I need to retune. Well, I don't have to, but let me retune so I can run the next few. We should have a sprint coming up, and I'm going to show you some about the sprint in a second. All right, so all we do is put this back. Okay, 9.572. Remember, I did a 9.47 something with that 4th gear tune. So now we're looking at a 5.0 final drive with a better theoretical dyno, but can I beat it? That's going to now be the question, right? Can I beat dyno as easily as I did with the other one? The other one we ran 9.4 something. This one, let's see if I can get under 9.57. I have to use nitrous later, obviously. That one I used it in 3rd gear. This one I'm going to use it in 4th gear. And I may even try it in 5th gear, but I don't think it helps. Okay, so here, 2, 4, nitrous. And again, try not to bounce the needle because that kills the time. Once again, I'm going through in 7th gear, right? Didn't quite make it to 8th. Hey there, welcome to the live stream. 9.579. So this tune gives a better dyno, but runs worse. Okay, that is exactly why you want to try variation on tunes. You never want to rely on just the highest Evo tune because it may not give you the best run. So now, knowing the other one's faster, I'm going to go back to my 4th gear tune and run it with that for a bit. Because obviously, I would get further without upgrading to stage 6 if that tune is beating dyno and is running better. So the other tune, as we know, is this one. Okay, about 156 mile per hour right here, which right now doesn't look that great, but you got to adjust tires. 9.645, but remember, it runs a 9.4 something. Nitrous can be tweaked. I leave it at 3.8 for now because I find it to be pretty much the best spot until you get stage 6 nitrous or depend on other upgrades. So sometimes I'll move it to 3.6, 4.0, depending on what gives me the highest points. But let's now go back and take a look at the runs again. So we got this coming up soon. That's going to be fun. Right now, the dyno's probably telling me I'm running 0 to 60 in around 3 seconds. The first speed trap is pretty easy, and it gets harder from there. All right, so here we go. Again, perfect launch makes a difference with this car. It really likes it. You can lose about a tenth or two if you're slightly off from perfect. But again, with this tune right here, notice again, once again, we should be running a 9.4 something. Oh, not this time. Oh well. Maybe I screwed up a little somewhere on the timing. But 9.4 something earlier on this tune, maybe I need to drive better. Driving better usually helps. Hey, welcome, techers. So yeah, I'm doing it on the easiest account first to get it through, and then I have to deal with my not as upgraded accounts and try to figure out how to get through while missing parts, right? All right, so this is the 0-60 sprint. So one thing about this car is actually it sprints quite well without nitrous. And I'm going to show you that on the tuning end, what I'm talking about. You don't actually need nitrous to hit the dyno tuning time. You do need a perfect launch. So this is obviously going to be fine on the first sprint, but let's go back and take a look at the tuning for the sprints. This car sprints the best in 1 gear because it spends its tires. Pushing nitrous is essentially worthless for the sprint. you're better off just letting the first gear run to 60 miles per hour. So right now it's not, but let's take a look at dyno. Right now it's 2.879 is the theoretical sprint time. But if you do this and you put this to 0, 2.466. Now, to get this 2.466, you do not actually need to use nitrous. Watch what happens when I tune the nitrous. Look at the time. Huh, how about that? Didn't change. Still didn't change. What does that tell you? It doesn't need the nitrous. Nitrous is not going to help you get a better time. So do a test run. Confirm that this sprint will work because we already did the first sprint. I'm going to put it back after this, so we'll do it on a test run. Really, the key here is it has to launch right here. What'll happen is it'll drop the needle to 4K if you do it just right. If you don't do it just right, you're going to get a slower time. And I didn't do it just right. Okay. This is going to be slower than the dyno by a bit, probably about 10^2, because what I found was that if you don't launch where that needle pops back to 4K, you don't get the dyno sprint time. So 2.654 is not terrible, but it's supposed to be a 2.466. I can do it again, but if I still fail, I'm going to move on because I don't want to waste everybody's time here. But really what you're looking for is a needle drop, slight needle drop, from perfect right to about here when you launch. And the only way you're going to get that is if the needle lands right in the middle there. And I didn't get it again. All right. Okay. So rather than keep failing at this, I'm just going to move on. Okay. Don't use nitro till last couple races. That might be interesting. Let's try that. But again, notice as long as I don't get that perfect needle drop, I'm keep getting 2.645. I'm also going to show you one last run because I haven't used nitrous yet. I want to prove my point with the nitrous, right? Using nitrous doesn't help you get a better sprint. So, well, Eric, I'm going to try it because we're already here. And it doesn't hurt to try different techniques. This is the thing. People put up different concepts, and the only way you're going to know if it works is, see how that had a weird needle drop right there? That's not the one I'm looking for, but I must have been close. So if you get the needle drop, you're supposed to get a better sprint. Don't ask me why, that's just what I observed. But notice using the nitrous didn't help at all. But then again, the needle dropped all the way to 0, which, all right. So anyway, we've spent enough time kind of trying to get through this. But essentially, if you tune to here, 0 to 100, 0/100, you get the best sprint time out of the car. So let's put it back to 20. Let's go back to that 2.8 something, I think. Well, no, 2.69, 2.68. I'm trying to get exactly back to where I was looking for that 2.645. Oh, even better. I'll take that. All right. Hey there. Welcome to the live stream. All right. So 2.6, 9.6 something is good enough for now. Okay. So we're going to go all the way to here. We'll hit another speed trap, but I may not even need to retune for that speed trap yet. You will probably need to start looking at retuning once you hit the third set and certainly near the end. Oh, great. Great. Great to hear that you made it through. Did you get through race 30 though, or are you still kind of stuck there? All right, so again, maybe I will shift a little early because I think that's how I got a better run last time, but maybe not. We'll find out in a second. Let's see. Oh, yes, right there. Okay, so I shifted out at first a little bit earlier. So there's probably a good mile per hour to hit there. Somebody who's very detail oriented will fine tune that, and then you can get that under dyno run right there. Now, so going back quickly to talk about supply cup for 1 second, looking at this. So if you're dynoing 9.6 and you're running 9.466 consistently, that will be fine for supply cups. You don't need a negative evo tune necessarily just to beat dyno by a huge amount just to get through supply cups. The reason I did the one that I did on the other video with the negative tune is because I had no fusions installed and it was just easier that way. But yes, the car could still beat dyno just by lowering final drive and using fourth gear. So, that would work for supply cup. But those kind of tricks, once again, does not work for PC cup. So please don't get the two confused. When I put an easy supply cup tune, I'm not saying use that for the PC cup because you can't get away with it. All right, so let's move on. All right, here we go. So I shifted out of first a little bit earlier last time. I'm going to try that again. About 20 some mile per hour. There's probably like a sweet spot there somewhere, maybe around 35 miles per hour. But as long as it beats dyno, I'm happy. Pardon me. Yep, so this one beat dyno even more, 9.452. So we're looking about 2/10 now. Yep. Yep. So yeah, it beats dyno with this particular setting, and I showed a faster dyno, theoretical dyno with a more aggressive final drive, but you actually can't beat dyno as easily. So it's an interesting car in that sense that it has so many different tuning points and still works. Okay, so for this one, I know I can beat the speed trap without nitrous, so I'm going to do that. Here we go. Hey there, welcome to the stream, guys. All right, so 15,000 points. Yes, let's talk about this. These points do not count towards that 500,000 points you need to get the Shark Huracan, okay? Don't count these points. These are crew bonus points. You get them in your crew point count. You don't get them in your personal RP count. So don't get them confused. Just because you got 300,000 here doesn't really help you. Okay, so there's another piece there. Just keep that in mind. All right, so moving along. Right now, stage 5 only is moving pretty well, and that's a bad launch point. So this one's going to be a slower run. Okay, CSR2 Mafia, I know you're basically spamming the same message, so please don't do that. If you could, I already let the first message go through, so you should be fine there. Okay, all right, so you got some fusions. If you have not gotten full fusions, between these runs, it will actually be a good idea to go back and add them and retune the car because you want to push them as you go. Okay, so if you already have full fusions or near full fusions like I have, it's obviously not important as much. But if you don't have them added in yet, you should add them in. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, once again, I'm going to get out of first around 30 miles, 25 to 30 miles per hour. That seems to be the ticket for seeming to get a consistent under dyno run right now. A little bit of variance, obviously, depending on where you launched, when you shifted, when you hit nitrous. It's always the case. There's going to be some kind of best shift pattern, best tune. I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking to get as far as I can, as quickly as I can. I'm going to have to add gas, I think. Okay, let's add some gas here. Don't forget to run that cup on the map today that gives you the gold. Okay, that's quite a few gold, and you need them. So don't skip that cup. I know everybody should be running that anyway, but who knows? Sometimes a little reminder helps. Oh, what did I just do? Okay, that was bad. But I'll hopefully still win this. Whew, okay. All right, screwed that up pretty good, but fortunately, he's slow. I was looking at the sprint and I'm not thinking. I was too busy talking and I forgot to launch the car properly. I was actually tapping the button to use nitrous. All right, I'm going to try your technique. So the technique that's being proposed is to perfect start, skip to third, hit nitrous halfway through, and change normal after that. So let's give that a shot. So I'm going to launch. Now, if I skip too quick to third, it's going to be a problem because this is what it looks like. I get, with my final drive, I'm going to end up just sitting there. So I'm going to have to hit nitrous and then try to move it. This is going to be tight. So I have to let it run a little bit in first gear before I try to skip gears, because I'm only running a fourth gear tune. Now, if I was running the 5.0 final drive, that may work. So let me give that a shot. This one, if you do that skip, notice it just kind of killed the run. So let me go to 5.0 final drive, and then we'll do the skip to third, and then fourth and nitrous, and see what happens. We're halfway through third and nitrous. Maybe I'll try that. Okay. So that was because we only have 4 gears we're using. When you skip to third, you're skipping too quick into a point where the car's going to bog. But if I run this final drive and this with that dyno, that theory may work better. Let me try it. Okay, here we go. So this is now back to the 5.0 final drive, which gives a faster theoretical dyno, but again, harder to beat the dyno. Oh, no, it's fine, man. I kind of figured if you were skipping the third, you probably don't have the lower final drive setup that I did. But this one, I think I can skip the third. So I can do this, and then, sorry, I screwed that up. But I hit the nitrous and shift at the same time out of habit. But it possibly could work. Let me try that again. Okay. But again, with this one, it's much harder for me to beat dyno, and it's because it shows a better dyno, but somehow the car isn't running under it. So I'm going to try that one more time. You're running 4.22 trans, 3.679. Okay, I'm going to go try that setting. Mine's stage 5 only. Did you have stage 6s installed when you tried that setting? Oh, this is a speed trap. What am I doing? Okay. I will make it. Yes. All right, let's try it on the next race. 21,000 additional points. All right, so you're doing 4.22 trans. I'm going to go back and try that. But again, do you have stage 6s? Hey, Jay, welcome to the live stream. All right, let's try one more run first, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so that's about as close to the technique as I can come to with that driving, and it's slower for now. All right, let's go back and try your only S5s. Okay, let me go try your tune. So 4.22 probably puts you topping out at about 6 gear, I would say. That means third gear nitrous would make sense because you're kind of in the middle with the where the gears fall. So let me give the see, you have less fusions too. That makes a big difference, by the way. If you have only 31 fusions, I have 76. It's not going to be the same tune. It wouldn't work the same way. So if I put it to 4.22, and this is actually a good point to make, that why everybody who asks for tunes sometimes can't get someone to give you the answer on the right tune, mainly because depending on what fusions you have, the tunes are completely different. Okay, so the dyno's not bad, 9.580. So this obviously could work, and probably will beat dyno too. So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, I just said go ahead twice. I echoed myself. All right, let's go. All right, let's give it a shot. Now I'm going to use your technique. So I'm going to go launch to third, right? And then halfway through third, use nitrous, and then run normal after that. So let's go ahead and do that. I screwed that up. But let's see how good it runs first. I didn't get a perfect launch out of it. So yeah, this one, 7th gear. So this one, The fusion drops. Trust me, I know exactly what you're talking about. These crates are, and I've repeated this to everybody who talks to me that these crate drop chances are horrible. Most of the time you get green ones, and sometimes you get duplicates all the time too. So it's part of the whole app game system of how developers make money. It is what it is. We bought into this by downloading the game. You just have to play within its parameters. There's nothing you can do. The drop rates though overall for anything, keys, crates, whatever, they're all pretty terrible. Even the paid ones. Okay, so back to sprint. So as long as I get a perfect launch, I'll just let it run this. Whoop. Forgot about the gearing. Oh, I lost. That's terrible. Okay, no, I can get this. I don't need to retune for this. All I need to do is basically shift better. And there it is. Okay, 2.733. Yeah, when you don't shift, obviously you lose, especially on sprints. Okay, so moving to race 20. So we're about more than halfway through. Around race 25 is when things get hard with PC Cup. Generally from race 1 to 25, as long as you have some upgrades, maybe one stage 6, you'll get that far for the most part. But of course with fusions. I'm just not getting this launch today. All right, so it's going to go into 7th. 9.55. So I'm not able to get under dyno as much, probably because of the fusion difference. So for me to get under dyno by a lot, seems that fourth gear setup is working the best. So I'm going to run this as far as I can, and then we'll go back to fourth gear setup, and then I'm going to try to see if I can get through the end with just one stage 6. Hey there, welcome to the stream. All right. All right, one more time. Let me try a little different technique this time. I'm going to let it run like this and then do this and see if this will work differently. This might give me a better run. Not really. 571. All right. Okay. Always hate to see this. This usually means you're going to get screwed now. And either you're going to have to upgrade or you're going to have to do a lot of tuning. So let's find out first why it's saying that. It's probably a speed trap. And it's probably that 161 mile one. Yep. All right. Let's give it a shot on getting it without retuning, but obviously I can retune very easily to hit 180. So that's not an issue, but let me see if I can get away with not doing that. Come on, do it. Nope. So close. It was close. Very close. Okay. Well, I'm going to go tune it to beat it because it's just not worth it to beat your head against it. The i8, no, I don't recommend the i8. I haven't found one i8 that I really liked, Ego, so I would probably say no to that. Not to say other people don't like the i8. One of the things you can look at is if you go into live lobby and jump to different lobbies, look at what cars people are using the most. That usually tells you how good it is. If you never see an i8 anywhere in live at all, it's probably not a good car. Okay, now, speed trap, right? Easy tuning. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and put it back to the fourth gear tune that I was using, which would be somewhere around 2.87 or 86. Oh, so actually I just noticed something. The higher grip actually gave me a slightly better dyno. But anyway, I like that 19 because I know it can beat dyno, so I'm going to stick to what works for me for now. And I'm playing. What did I do here? All right, so I forgot my tune again. I can't wait until they put that save tune thing in so I don't have to do this all the time. Because I keep forgetting, and then I'm just like randomly retuning kind of to where I thought it would be and then forgetting about it again later. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave it here. All right, so for that 161, this is 157, right? So 161, now it's 164. So no problem to beat it just by putting it somewhere around here. You're looking at 168. Let's go and take care of that speed trap. Lowering the tire works really good on this car. So, oh, hey, Roughneck, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I'm trying my best, and sometimes, you know, sometimes I come up with something good, sometimes I rush, and it comes out kind of okay. So it really depends. Ooh, epic. I hope it's a nitrous. Then I can fully max the car. Let's see. So I'm also working on Tier 4 now with my new account, and just as a sort of a preview of that, I'm using a dealership bought GTR. And I've said this to newer players multiple times that you can beat Victor without any fusions from using a dealer bought T4 GTR. So I'm going to demonstrate that in a video. That'll be coming out probably tomorrow. I'm still upgrading the car, but um, that's just a little tidbit for anybody who's actually still playing that early in the game that they're still looking for beating Victor. Okay, here we go. No problem there. Then I'm going to go back and lower the tires so I can keep going with a better time. All right. Ah, it's a tire. Ah, I need a nitrous. All right. So race 30, from what I've seen just from stuff on Facebook and also within my crew chats, you can, again, you're going to waste a lot of gas doing it, but you can bounce in and out, changing the opponent, and at least one opponent runs something like a 9.32. But most of them could run much faster, probably 9.1, even 9.0s. So it really depends on your luck and which opponent you get as you're getting to race 30. I'm going to probably be looking at throwing in that stage 6 soon to move forward beyond race 26 or 27. I'm not sure we can make it through race 28 without stage 6s, but we're going to try. And we're getting close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Fusions, well, for this card, I'll be honest. If you're in a typical milestone crew and you already did your 500 individual RP for the season, you probably don't even need to run the PC Cup to meet all the minimums on most milestone crews, which averages around 600K. So doing this is mostly because you want to contribute to your crew as much as possible, or you want to get that 600,000 crew points without having to do as much individual points. But for any of us that are trying to get that Shark Huracan, you're gonna meet 600K minimum easily. Okay. Oh, you got a nitrous S6. Oh, I need a nitro epic fusion, but that S6 is really good. I'll show you in a minute when we get there. So between the nitrous and the trans is a little better, but nitrous S6 is very good for this car. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I had to go into fifth. That means my final drive is still too high. It's still fine for what it's doing now, but it's not getting that 9.4 I was looking for. So I did not get my tune right, but that's all right. Let's keep moving. Ah, no iOS emulator online, huh? I've never really heard of it myself, of a good one that you can use on PC. Um, so that's unfortunate. So because I'm going into fifth, I'm actually going to nitrous slightly delayed in third and hope that it helps, but it's not getting me under dyno now. That's because the tune is not doing it. Okay. Oh, there it is. Excellent. All right. My final fusion. Okay. This is good because now I can show you nitrous stage 6 with full fusion rather than missing one fusion. All right. Let's go. For this one, I may want to maybe shift out of first a little later. Oh, what's going on here? I'm losing. Huh? Wow, that car's fast. 9.25. Wow. At race 25. That's got to be a bug. All right. Let's go out, go back in. Let's see if that'll make it easier with a different car. So I don't know if that was intentional or that was a bug, but at least I got my last fusion I need. Where is it? Oh, there it is, right there. Let's get them in. All right, so I'm going to put the nitrous stage 6 in at this point just to kind of show you the difference with this stage 6, and then also show you the difference later with the trans, which I actually showed in the beginning. Trans is, before I had this fusion, trans is definitely a little better. Right, so for here, again, the car's going to be faster, right? You're going to get something in the low 9.3s now, but now you can put more grip on because the car's going to be accelerating more aggressively. 9.319. I'm pretty sure you can get a 9.2 type result out of this right there, 9.202. Okay, so now it's just fine tuning nitrous to get 9.2 flat. The question now is whether I'm going to beat 9.2 flat with the driving technique. You still want to tweak this to see if you can get even higher, but the 5.0 obviously is one way that works. Let's see if we can get something that doesn't require that high a final drive. There it is, right? Even better. $9.180. Oh, so that dyno is actually a little better than trans. So now that I got that final fusion, it looks like nitrous still may come out the king of the field here. Now I got to tweak this, make sure that that is not affecting things. Nope. And let's tweak this again. And one more tweak here to see if that helps. All right, let's memorize that. 4.48. Okay, so that means I'm topping out at 170 mile per hour. Let's look for one in seventh. So it's seventh gear final, 4.48. Now let's try sixth gear final and see if sixth gear at 170 with a little bit less grip may still be able to accomplish it or not. No. So sixth gear doesn't seem to work so well. Fifth gear and fourth, let's try fourth gear now, 170 with much lower grip. Doesn't seem to be the case. All right, so looks like once I threw that nitrous in, that 4.8, 4.48 was it? 4.48 seems to be the sweet spot. All right, let's try it. All right. Now, again, this is with full fusion, right? So just because you get the nitrous stage 6 and you have no fusions doesn't mean you're going to get that much of an improvement. Keep that in mind. All right, so let's see if we still get that guy running 9.22. That was kind of ridiculous considering where I'm at. I would expect the opponent to actually be running closer to like a 9.8. All right, let's see. All right, different car, so hopefully it'll run slower. Shifted out of fourth a little early, but should be okay. Let's see what the actual run gives us. Oh, not bad. Beats Dino slightly, 9.151. Now the opponent runs 10. So that other one must have been just a fluke with the car. So jumping in and out of lobby obviously helped. That got me through that. But now with this one stage 6, you should be able to get through. How did I get the parts? So what I did is last season when we had that cup with the Mazda, the Kia, I already pulled the Kia randomly from a silver key pull. So I decided to lock this car in and got a bunch of crates. Remember, we get crates with events. I got a bunch of Kia crates back then, and then it cost me about another 9,000 bronze keys on top to get to where I am now. So My car has just gotten fully maxed at this point. So I have all the stage 6s, all the fusions. I just got my last nitrous fusion in one of the cup runs just now. Okay. All right. Let's do this again. See if I can beat the dyno slightly more than last time or not. 9.15. Nope. All right. So short shifting. Oh, this is not good. I just saw that. Okay, this is happening a lot too. I'm actually kind of glad this happened while we're doing this live stream. The game probably just went down. You're right. Because once you see this, there's no point to play the game. Because with this on, if I keep playing, what's going to happen is that when I come back, when it finally reconnects, I get a sync profile and I lose all my progress. So all this time or energy that you went through would be wasted. So let me go back to lobby. We may be cut short on this stream because of this. If this doesn't go back, I'll try nitro. Oh, it's back. Okay, it's back. Good. I'm gonna go back out. Right. Okay. So here comes the stage 6 race. Now let me do this. Let's go back because we had a 10.0, right? Yeah, I'm waiting for the sync. Actually, that may happen, but that was a very short red Wi-Fi, so maybe I won't get a sync. Oh wait, what am I saying here? I'm getting distracted. Well, I'm gonna take that stage 6 back out, and I'm gonna try to get through the next 2 races without it and see if it's even possible. Now, mind you, I have full fusions at this point, so this is a fully maxed car, so your mileage is definitely gonna vary if you're missing even a few fusions. Okay. So, all right. So let's go back to that 4th gear tune. So about there. 4th gear, 150. Now, my nitrous is now not as long duration. All right, that's the tune I like. Okay. So the question is, we saw 10 now. Then I got 2 races to that first stage 6. The question is whether I'm going to get there with stage 5 full fusion. It's not going to be an easy race, right? Even this one's going to be tough. This one might be impossible, but let's see. Usually I find that in PC Cups, if you have all the fusions, the developers let you get to that first stage 6. At least that's been the case for the last 5 or 6 PC Cups. Who knows what's going to happen with this one. Right, here we go. Nitrous. Now with this gear setup, because I'm topping out in 4th, I do use nitrous in 3rd. The other one I was using nitrous in 4th because my final drive was set at 5.0, and using nitrous in 3rd, you actually run out of nitrous a little bit quicker. So it's questionable. It can cut both ways. I mean, it's hard to say if that would have worked. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. I don't know if that would have worked well one way or the other, but we'll try it afterwards once I put that nitrous back in. Okay, extreme. Always fun to see that. That usually means you're screwed, but maybe I'll get lucky because if extreme is based on my dyno and I beat my dyno, I have a chance. A slim chance, but at least I have a chance. It also depends maybe on the car you get too. If this guy runs like a 9.2, obviously you have no chance. Now, the Mazda Veilside is a top-end car. It's going to come up on me near the end here. See, it's catching up. No, it didn't. Haha, made it. Okay, take a bet on which one you're going to get. I should have said that before I ran it, but it's coming. What are we going to get? Oh, one of the worst. Of course. If it's not a duplicate, it's half the time it's one of the worst. I always hope for either nitrous body or trans. I usually get intake turbo or tire. That seems to be like the favorite ones that they give you on this particular reward. I don't know why. If I were to look back at all my PC Cups over the last year, I think intake stands out in my mind for some reason because I see that more often than any other stage 6 coming from these cups. And that's really irritating. Now, they say it's random. We all know RNG is based on a map that they programmed. Yes, it emulates randomness, and I'm not a conspiracy guy. I don't believe that necessarily, they always set it up for you to get intake, but the random mappings ratios of what you may get can be adjusted by whoever makes the map, right? So it is what it is. Same thing with the crates. Sometimes I get like the absolute worst stage sixes out of these crates, and only the loyalty seems to really help. So that means you already burned all your keys, and then you finally get stage six you really need. All right, so I'm going to put trans in this time because we saw engine. So this time I'm going to use trans because I know this is the other big one. And trans gives a very nice boost in performance as well. Engine, turbo, intake, unfortunately, doesn't give much. I think body gives a decent amount, and tire gives an okay change. I haven't really tested tire though, so don't take my word for that yet. Trans I've tested, nitrous I've tested because I know these two can do really well. So first, it jumped about 2/10. Then again, with this one, I found that doing this gives you the lowest theoretical dyno, which is very close to nitrous, right? Nitrous actually is a 9.18. So again, we can go back and see if this one here in the 6-gear setting would be any better. And that was like 448. And I could tweak this a little bit to see if that helps. No. So with the trans, you can't just lower final drive. So it actually uses the more aggressive final drive to hopefully get the best time. This one I'm going to try nitrous in third first and then nitrous in fourth, but it should be enough at least to get it through. Right, Nico, I think it'll be better if these stage sixes were at least closer. I mean, I don't expect them to be equal because in real life, not that this game has anything to do with real life, okay, an intake really honestly doesn't do much even in real life. So I'm not too hurt that intake sucks, but a turbo is a whole different story. A turbo should work really well. But, Natural Motion seems to like to do either nitrous, trans, or body being the top stage six. It's very common on most cars to see that. Thank you for letting me know. Daily battle's ready. Okay, so 29, 30. So the question is, 29 is already hard. 30 is going to probably be extreme. The question is whether we're going to get a car slow enough to get through with just one stage six. I think it's doable since I have full fusions, but, it could cut one way or the other. First of all, it depends on who you get, right? Okay, so I'm going to try nitrous in third for this one. But I think nitrous in fourth would be faster, but let's try and see because, no, very close. No, I might have lost. Yep. Okay. Why I say I might have lost is because when you see you're only half a fender ahead of the opponent, that usually means you lost. You really need to be like a full fender ahead to be safe. I think it's something to do with the way they make the angle of that when you cross the finish line. But almost always, if you're just a fender ahead, your chances of losing is as good as your chances of winning. So I'm going to use nitrous fourth this time because that didn't even come close to dyno. And I know 9.2 will beat him. So let's go. Ooh, a little lag there. Okay, I got you. This time I got him because I'm almost a full car length ahead this time, so I know I got him that time. Closer to dyno in fourth nitrous, not quite beating it though, but at least I got that. And obviously the next one is extreme. So now it's luck of the draw. If I get a guy that's slow, like the 9.3 car that I saw someone get, I would beat this. But if I can't, then I won't beat this. I may have to switch back to nitrous and try, or I may have to even put another stage six in. Okay. Oh, that's the, let's see. Oh, bad. Very bad. I'm going to lose this one. Got the jitters and didn't do it right. He killed me. Let's see what he ran though. Oh man, I wish I could catch him. Then I could use the line on that car. The Fast and Furious line. Too soon, Junior. in this case, I think he got that line instead of me. Okay, 9.103. Obviously, I'm not beating that with this car. So I'm going to go back and switch and then try again. But I'm still going to try with one stage 6 first. And I'm going to run it once and then see if I can find another guy. Oh yeah, Showdown should be active now, right? It was shown about 2 hours ago. So I think Showdown's live now. All right, let me switch to Nitrous and try that stage 6. All right, so final verdict, at least from my end on this car, is that it's kind of meh. Okay, I'm not really that impressed with this car. I didn't expect anything from this car either, so it's not a big deal. It's not like I was expecting this super wonderful car and it's disappointing me. But this car is kind of not worth too much effort. So if you don't have to do all the way through PC Cup, and I suspect on my newer accounts, that's exactly what I'm going to do, is skip finishing the PC Cup altogether, so I don't waste important resources that I shouldn't be wasting. There it is. 623, I recall, was what it was. Okay. So if you don't have to finish PC Cup to meet your crew minimum, I would say for this card, and if you don't have the resources, don't waste it. You're not going to use this card much for anything else after this. Although theoretically, it's not a bad card for Tempest because it's easy to do speed traps with it. It's not too bad to do sprints either. But the sprints are not that fast. So ultimately, I think this card is going to be a dust collector after this. Still extreme. So the question again is, who do we get? If I get a card that's slower, I'll beat him. If I get a card that's fast, obviously it won't work. I'm not. That's not a good sign. Okay. All right. Now this card tops out quick, so there is a chance I can. Wait, what did I just do? Ah, I just screwed up. Okay. Well, let's see what he runs first. There is a chance I could beat him. I can beat this guy. I think I can beat this guy pretty much because I screwed up a lot and that was a very close. Oh no, I can't beat this guy unless I get under dyno. So I need to run a 9.17x to beat him. Okay, let's add some gas first because this may take more than 3 tries. All right, now I have to do this just right. So 4th gear nitrous, and we're gonna have to get that launch down. 2, 3, 4. Come on, catch him, catch him, catch him. Oh, I might have gotten it. Yes. 167. All right, beat Dino. Great. There it is. So, hey Wang, welcome to Livestream. So that's it. I just finished it with stage 6 nitrous only. The tune is to 7th gear to top out. Obviously, short shifting a little bit out of 1st and nitrous in 4th did the job. I didn't get the fastest car, right? Johnny Tran's S2K would have destroyed me again anyway. This one, the GTX, is a little bit slower, and I know there is one car at least that runs 9.3s, so that should be even easier. And that, my friends, is the PC Cup with just one stage 6, but full fusions. I think Trans is also doable with one with full fusions. Now, if you don't have full fusions, definitely you're going to need 3 or 4 stage 6s. I mean, that's a given. If you're missing fusions, you lose a lot of performance per fusion. So definitely. So what happens after you beat it? Nothing. You get a bunch of bonus points. The bonus points go towards your crew point total, and that's it. The whole point of doing a PC Cup is to finish and get those bonus points so your crew doesn't kick you for not meeting minimum. But as I said earlier, for this season, if you're trying to get that Shark Huracan by doing 500,000 personal and your crew normally requires 600K minimum, you already hit minimum. You won't hit a million necessarily unless you do all the bonus points, but you should be fine not finishing the PC Cup. Don't spend all your resources on PC Cup just because. The only time I do it is either I know I can make it or I'm so short on points that I just have to do it. Okay. So, well, you already got the car coming at the end of the season based on the milestone. Yes, because this season they made it only 10 million, and in fact even lower at 8 million for crews that's never hit the milestone. So it's kind of a gimme this season, which is great. Yes, most of us have already gotten the car, that car, but remember there's a 500,000 individual RP before April 29th to get a Purple Star Shark livery Lamborghini Huracan. I think it's an LB Huracan as well. So that one you need actual 500K. Thanks for watching, by the way. Anybody has any comments, questions, feel free to ask them. Let me just go ahead and look at that showdown real quick because I think it's live now. Yes, it is. So this one, you have 6 days, okay? But as I said in my showdown video, showdowns are designed for fully maxed cars that are, and it's really designed for 1 or 2 specific cars to dominate everybody. So if you don't have that car and you don't have it fully maxed, you can only get so far. Hey, Tape It, I'm almost done here, but welcome to the live stream. So the Rocket Bunny is number 2 fastest according to a chart I saw on Facebook. The rest of these guys, like these guys, I don't even know why they throw them in there. I mean, if you want to just go in there and get your behind handed to you over and over again for the participation rewards, and this is the only car you got, sure. But other than that, I mean, these cars are not going to have any chance of competing with the Tier 4 cars. It's just not. And then the Tier 4 cars, these guys have no chance against that guy. And this one has no chance against this one. Well, I wouldn't say no chance. It has a tough way of beating it fully maxed. And then the Purple Star version of that engine NSX will destroy the Rocket Bunny. So in the end, it's going to be one car that's going to dominate it all. Can we get a team up video with me and Danny Lighting? I'm always happy to work with other YouTubers. So yes, the answer would be sure. I would be happy to put some together with them. Understand, I'm not that technically proficient. It took me a year of avoiding live streaming to figure it out again, how to live stream without showing my ID. So know what you're working with here, okay? But yes, but I'm happy to work with anybody. I always show up at Mill's live streams, and I love watching his live streams and participating in it. So this one is what I'm going to end up using for this showdown. I don't know how far I'll get, but I have 6 days, and I have plenty of time to slowly kind of grind my way there. Now, if you can't even get past race 22, that's definitely because you don't have the parts. And with PC Cup, there's no way around it. You need upgrades and you need fusions. No way around it. You can't tune around it. I don't care how wonderful a tuner you are. You cannot tune around a PC Cup. You can only do that with tricks with Supply Cup because it relies on dyno. PC Cup does not. So if you don't run 9.1, you just can't make it. Hey, welcome to the stream. All right, so talking about crates. So we do have the crates for this, right? Where is it? Parts. So here's your crates that you have to pull for Kia parts. And it's 400 keys each. Mind you, on my accounts, I usually have tens of thousands of bronze keys that I save up for, contemplating coming up to some event. I burned 9,000 of these last season to get this Kia to where it is now. And that's not counting the additional ones I got free this season, plus parts I got from that PC Cup and the Supply Cup, which finally helped me to finish upgrading it. So if you don't have bronze keys, you're not going to be able to upgrade the car enough to finish. And that's unfortunate, but that's the truth. On the other hand, if you're a brand new player who's on your first 2-3 seasons, don't even pull this car. You don't need it. Okay, you may need it down the line for something else and you have another chance to pull it. But if you're still struggling on keys, don't burn your keys on that. It's a waste of keys. So now I'm going to actually do the Supply Cup on the second account, I'm not going to live stream it, and I'll record it because you'll see the difference and how many keys I'll end up using as part of that supply cup. And I'll upload that video so you guys can get a feel of a comparison between a fully built car versus somebody who starts off with 20, 30 fusions trying to do the same thing. It's much different. Okay. In any case, I'm going to end the stream here. I really appreciate you guys joining me today for this live stream. Once I get the technical issues figured out, I'm going to try to do live streams maybe once a week or two, whenever I have enough free time. And this way I can kind of interact with my viewers better, because I actually like it when I can see the questions directly as I'm trying to do the cups. And with regard to polling the Kia, 3 polls, 3 per poll on the Kia is exactly kind of BS with it. So it's, but it's a tier 3, so they give you 3 fusions. If it was a tier 4, tier 5, it'll be 5 fusions, 4 fusions, that kind of thing. But again, these fusions oftentimes are not exactly what you want. All right, thanks guys. Really appreciate you joining me, and I'm gonna sign off. I'll catch you next time.